What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. My name is Shaun, and joining me as always is my co-host, Mr. Conor Lawler.
You're meant to say partner in crime.
No, I've decided to change it.
Oh, right, fair enough. That's grand.
But joining me as always is my underling, Conor Lawler.
Oh, I would say apprentice. I just want to be as good as you one day.
As a man who has put together one show over the course of this podcast,
and what a show it was.
That's the wrong decision. Look, it was great. I had a great time.
We all had a great laugh.
What is Hero or Zero?
Hero Zero is a show where we choose one comic book character, as we do every single week, and we do their good points, their bad points. We just give you a general bit of a rundown. So if you've never heard of the character before, it's kind of a good introduction. We're obviously not going to cover like all 70 years of comic book history, but we'll give you a bite-sized chunk so that if you're interested, you can read more on that character if you want. And if not, then say, fuck you guys, that's a shit-kick character.
No.
And
Shaun,
you're the worst host I've ever seen.
No,
that's what they'll
Conor,
say.
Reel it in.
Sorry, no. Then you could happily go off and say, maybe that's not for me.
There you go. Balanced opinions, like everything on the internet.
Of course.
So I have chosen, it's my week to do Hero Zero this week, so I'm doing a Marvel character, and I've chosen a Marvel character that, he's been in the news a little bit recently. There's rumours he'll be in an upcoming film.
Okay, is it Captain America?
Yes, it is. I'm doing him again.
Oh, yeah, we've already done him.
Literally episode 1.
I actually haven't gone back to ever listen to that episode. I wonder how different it sounds.
Probably better.
You probably better.
I feel there was more effort.
Yeah, we weren't old and haggard at that stage.
No, but the character I've chosen today is Dane Whitman, aka the Black Knight.
The Black Knight.
Yes.
Kit Harington's going to play him, isn't he?
Yes, that's why he's been in the news. Also, that'll play into a bit of trivia I have later on. So you just you just hang on to that there now.
I'll put that in my pocket and wait.
And just hang on to it now, make it nice and warm.
The excitement of it all.
So the Black Knight was originally a character back in like the 50s and 60s, and he was a villain. And that dude's name was Nathan Garrett. And so Dane is his nephew.
So there's been 2 Black Knights?
There's been 3. There's been a bunch.
Oh, Lord.
It's like a thing that's passed down, if you get me.
Right, but one of them was evil, and then he passed it down to his nephew to be like, you can also be a dickhead. And then Kit Harington was like, no, I'll be nice.
Well, Iron Man was fighting Nathan Garrett, the uncle.
Okay.
And he was mortally wounded. So Iron Man killed him.
Okay, of course he did. He's a dickhead.
So Dane was summoned to his uncle's castle just as he was dying, and his uncle confessed to a life of crime, and he wanted Dane to restore the honour of the Black Knight legacy.
Right, but hadn't he destroyed the legacy?
Yes, but now he was feeling bad about it.
Oh, right, as usual, they're on their death's door, they're like, you know what, I maybe shouldn't have killed all those people. Wasn't the best.
Wasn't my best work.
No.
And Dane was a scientist, so at first he hoped to just use his scientific knowledge to be a force for good, but he started doing experiments into magnetism and inadvertently brought Magneto and Toad back to Earth from a time when they were lost in space.
Oh yeah, now in fairness, that's an obvious next step. In science, that's obviously what's going to happen next. Magnets, a man named after a magnet, and then a random frog.
A toad.
Just all connected.
This story, there's a lot in this that I just need you to be on board for.
Okay, but look, Magneto, and then you had Toad. Toad has once gone north and south. He's basically half Magnet himself. I mean, it's all there. If you just read between the lines, this makes sense.
This does make sense. So what does Magneto do when he comes back to Earth? He immediately
normally fucks up Wolverine.
Yeah, well, he tries. He immediately begins to reform the Brotherhood of Mutants, starting by kidnapping Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch.
Who are very hard to catch Quicksilver.
Well, if he's wearing any metal at all, so like his classic dog tags.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and they're his children.
They are his children, so he probably tricked them a bit.
Yeah.
So Dane put on the costume and weapons of the Black Knight to track Magneto down, but he was confronted by the Avengers, who assumed he was still his uncle.
Yeah, which you would.
You would. The Black Knight helped the Avengers get on the right track, but parted company with them, annoyed by their disgust.
And is the outfit like full Black Knight? Like
Oh
covered
yeah,
head to toe?
like I'm talking medieval knight.
Okay, but see now that I have a question about Kit Harington at the end, but okay, go on.
Okay, so Nathan Garrett is still involved a bit. Okay, so Nathan was posthumously contacted to join the Masters of Evil. No,
Sorry, that's the dead uncle.
The dead uncle, but they don't know he's dead because the Black Knight is still going around.
Right. Okay.
So he was invited to join the Masters of Evil, and this was organised by a villain called the Crimson Cowl.
Oh, that's a good name.
It is, but the Crimson Cowl was actually Ultron.
Oh, that's not a good name.
The robot.
James Spader. Oh,
James,
no.
with his eyebrows. So Dane Whitman, the new Black Knight, agreed to join the team with the hopes of infiltrating their ranks, and he tried to contact the Avengers before the attack. However, Ultron guessed at his treachery, and the Masters of Evil intercepted him, beating him and leaving him abandoned.
Oh, that's not good.
No, the Black Knight also happened upon Jarvis, who was also abandoned by the Masters, after being set up to appear as if he were the Crimson Cowl.
Right.
So they were going to dress Jarvis, the butler, up like the Crimson Cowl, so if they got caught, just leave him there.
Oh, like the Joker and
literally
the Red Hood. Yeah.
Very similar. Red Hood, Crimson
Okay, right.
Cowl.
Basically, plagiarism. What you're saying.
Pretty much. So the Black Knight tracked down the Masters of Evil, helping the Avengers escape and overcome their foes. The heroes then parted on better terms, although Whitman still wanted to keep his distance from the Avengers.
Okay.
Next up for Dane Whitman is he travelled to England.
Oh, if he's a knight, that should be the obvious place to go.
Yeah, Conor, he's going to go so many more places.
Oh, no. No.
So he travelled to England hoping to sell the last of his inheritance from his uncle, Garrett Castle. There...
What?
His uncle's name isn't Garrett Castle. The house is Garrett Castle.
See, now you're realising why I had a very confused sound when I heard that. Okay, so his uncle is... what's his name? Dane? No, that's him.
Nathan Garrett is the uncle. Dane Whitman is the nephew.
Okay.
And it's about... Okay.
You always say that before you say something completely bad shit.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
So while at the castle, he was contacted by the spirit of his ancestor, Sir Percy of Scandia, the original Black Knight.
Of course he was. Of course. Sorry, what's the name? Sir Percy of Scandia.
Yep.
Alright, yeah. Should have well-known name. Percy of Scandia.
That famed medieval name, Percy.
Yes, we all know a Percy from the Knights of the Realm.
So Dane Whitman proved worthy of pulling the ebony blade out of its scabbard.
Also kind of similar to other stories, let's not get into that.
It's all connected.
That reminds me of Transformers 5, the one with Merlin.
Oh yeah, when King Arthur became public domain.
Exactly.
So the ebony blade is the weapon of the Black Knight. Only a true honourable Black Knight can wield it. But the blade, the more you use it, the more it gives you a bloodlust.
Oh God!
So if you're a knight that just goes around murdering, you'll become evil.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually quite a nice little story touch,
isn't it? Like it's the only way to be a good knight is to not use your sword.
Yeah, no, that's good. And, like, at the start, did he use it a lot and then he realised that? Or did, like, some old man in a shop go, every time you use this, you will get more bloodlust? Was it explained like that to him?
It's kind of... the ghost of Sir Percy explained it a little bit.
Of course, the ghost. I should have...
The ghost, of course. And he uses it to defeat a descendant of Sir Percy's enemy, Mordred. So
Did you say Mildred?
Mordred.
You could fuck that old lady up. Fuck Mildred.
Oh, a sword against an old lady. It's no contest.
She's got a little cane. It's game over.
So over time, Whitman began feeling the curse of the ebony blade, making him grow more violent and more bloodthirsty.
Okay.
So when he nearly killed 2 jewel thieves after a pursuit, he sought to end the curse by destroying the blade.
But can the blade even be destroyed?
Now, here's the game.
Yeah, right,
So,
there you go.
the search brought him to the magical dimension of Polmachus.
Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, right. Okay, you've got like 2 more of these before I'm out.
There's at least 3 more.
Oh, no. Okay, you've got 3 strikes. Here we go.
He was captured by a man named Archon and his ally, the Enchantress.
Okay.
That's fine. The Enchantress,
That's fine.
The Enchantress placed the Black Knight under a spell, keeping him under hypnosis even when the Avengers came to rescue him.
And Captain America was just like slapping him in the face and putting water on him.
It was like that scene from Airplane.
Yeah, there was a nun with nunchucks. Muhammad Ali was there. Everybody was just trying their hand to just wake this fucker up.
So the Black Knight lost his sword during a fight, and it fell into a magical well and was seemingly destroyed.
Right.
So, in fact, it was not destroyed at all.
I wasn't expecting this at all. This is a plot twist.
But it was lost in time, Conor.
Oh, there's strike 1. He's done it. That's good stuff.
The blade appeared in Olympus, and the god Ares discovered it. Ares allied with the Enchantress from earlier, who was following the blade, and launched an assault on Olympus.
How did it end up with the gods?
Because it was lost in time.
Lost in time, of course. Sorry.
It can show up any time, any place.
And luckily it just ended up in the hands of a god rather than the probably trillions of people that had ever come before it.
That's true. And the god of war, no less.
What a quinky-dink.
So Ares was defeated and the Enchantress fled, but not before casting the Black Knight aside, transforming him into stone.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's going to make his stories a lot slower, believe me.
Exactly. Now here we go. Right. So if he's currently made of stone, that is going to make it difficult for him to move.
But Conor,
See,
you know not what you say.
Are you going to follow this up by he soon turned back into human from stone?
In a sense, now.
Okay.
Doctor Strange took the Black Knight's body with him to his Sanctum
Doctor
Sanctorum.
Strange is here now. This is going to calm everything down. I'm sure this is going to make everything a bit more normal. Go on.
Absolutely. He was hoping to someday be able to reverse the curse.
Yes.
Eventually, Strange managed to contact the Black Knight's spirit, and his spirit had travelled back to the 12th century during the time of the Crusades.
Of course. That's strike 2. I'm not Actually, if they're both strikes for time travel, are they the same strike or separate strikes? I don't know.
I think they're the same strike, but they happen at the same time.
Okay, right.
So, through a spell cast at the time of Camelot's demise by Merlin, the wizard...
Of course.
Whitman's spirit inhabited the body of his ancestor, Eobor Garrington.
This has turned into Assassin's Creed. Let's get into
that. He's also known as the Black Knight. He was thus able to track down Mordred the Evil from, you remember?
Mildred, I remember Mildred.
And Merlin's spell also brought the Defenders, who helped the Black Knight confront Mordred, his allies and his armies.
Okay.
Ultimately, Whitman decided to stay in the past and the Defenders returned home.
Right, so he's basically his present self, but he's been turned back into time, and now he's decided to stay there because obviously he's a knight, so he'd fit more in there in that timeline.
Literally, he's fighting because he swore an oath to the king, and he's like, a knight honours his oath.
Oh, okay, right, and technically, there's no kings left unless so he couldn't come back here.
Yeah, and it's. He will eventually, because that's comics.
No. I'm thinking this time is the proper time where he's just going to stay. I think this is the one time in comic books where they're just going to leave it.
Okay, you can hold on to that hope.
Yeah, no, and it'll be a strike 2 if he goes back, so just remember that. Go on.
Oh Lord, I've got about a paragraph, lads. So at some point following the Crusades, the Black Knight joined the High Druid of Avalon in defending the realm of Avalon from attack by ancestral enemies of English gods.
Right, okay.
Now, Avalon is like Celtic paradise.
He's in a big battle now. He's agreed to defend the place.
Pretty much. Avalon is essentially Tir na Nog.
Oh, okay. Tir na Nog is an Irish story that we all learn in school about a guy who goes to a land where people never age.
Yeah, so it's similar to that.
And yeah, okay, cool.
So the High Druid summons the help of the Avengers from the future, and they hoped to use an artifact called the Evil Eye to absorb energy to close the portal between Avalon and Earth. But
right,
the Black Knight used the eye, and it destroyed his body in the process.
Oh, for God's sake. Right.
So now that body's destroyed, his spirit goes back into the stone body. and the druid turns him back into mortal man. He's no longer made of stone.
What a convoluted way to get this man out of being stone, for fuck's sake.
But, see, Conor, what you need to remember is the Black Knight's been around since the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, okay.
And so they put him into the past for a bit, and now they can bring him back into whatever modern time it is.
Ah, see, no, fair enough. Like, yeah, they're going to run out of stories eventually. They're just going to be like, this knight needs to go back in time, and then another writer is going to come in and go, actually, I prefer the idea of like a guy out of his element. Let's bring him back to the modern times.
Yeah, literally that. So he tried to settle back into modern day life, although much had changed in his absence. A lady called Victoria Bentley, who's an associate of Doctor Strange, she bought Garrett Castle to prevent the British government from seizing the property for failure to pay taxes. Okay. So he'd still have a home base. He also took a young Irish orphan, Shaun Dolan, under his wing.
Shaun Dolan. Why is there... Every report you've done for the last 3 weeks, there's always some little Irish ginger head.
No one said he was ginger.
I'm assuming if he's called Shaun Dolan, he has the biggest carrot top anyone's ever seen.
That's fair. He actually does.
Yeah, of course.
However, over time, Dane Whitman began experiencing increasing madness and bloodthirstiness.
Yeah, because he kept using the sword. He kept using the sword when he was cooking, so he was just like chopping tomatoes.
Oh, no. Now he's vegan and evil.
Yeah. The worst kind of evil. Damn you.
So, this was when Dane Whitman learned about the curse of the blade, how the more you spill blood with it, the madder you get. Yeah,
okay. So he didn't learn about it until like ages after.
Yeah, to the point where it was nearly too late.
Yeah, okay.
So sometime later, his personality began to grow more medieval and archaic, so he'd start talking like an old knight.
Okay, right, so he just went crazy.
Yeah. So
fair enough.
Well, he just leaned into the whole knight thing, I guess.
Look, you might as well.
So a lady called Marina, who's the wife of Namor, the Submariner, she started going mad, and Namor, the Submariner, decided he to be the one to put her down because she could have destroyed Atlantis.
By the way, Namor is a man that literally, I think, has come up at least... You've done what? Maybe 27 reports or something? I think
maybe a bit more.
I think... No, you might have done 28, 29. But he has come up, I'd say, at least 16 times in those 28 reports.
I will do one on him at some point, but he's been around the longest. He was around in the 50s.
He's Aquaman. He's
grown up. Yeah, literally. Like, he's grown up with Marvel. So when dealing a mortal blow to Marina, Namor grabbed the ebony blade from the Black Knight, and so this was another time when she was super powerful, so killing her kind of amplified the effect of the blade, if you get me.
Oh, see, the bloodlust is like way more if you kill someone really powerful.
Yeah, to the point where, and this might be strike two,
Okay.
the curse took on the effect of slowly transforming him into a living extension of the ebony blade. He began to cut the people and objects he touched and gradually found it harder to move.
Right, so he just became a big sword.
He's becoming a big sword.
He's becoming. There's a man who's becoming a big sword, and you're saying this to me like I'm just meant to accept that.
Yeah, Thor eventually uses him to kill a baddie in Asgard.
Yeah, does he like wield him like a sword?
Wields him like a sword, yeah.
Like around his ankle, just starts swinging him around his head.
Yeah, like he uses him as a sword. Anyone he touches gets cut. So
that's like, that is the strangest. There's definitely a mutant in the X-Men who already has that power.
just cut sword boy.
Yeah, sword boy. I'm assuming.
Like it is weird, but it doesn't last terribly long.
Oh, well, look, I would say even one issue is too many for the Sword Boy Chronicles.
Well, look, some of us like Sword Boy.
Sword Boy. Just respect for Sword Boy, he's been through a lot.
Yeah, so Black Knight soon returned to the Avengers. He's been cured by Doctor Strange.
So, cured of the swordism.
Yes, I think he just sent it to somewhere else. The curse.
Ah, sure, look. Yeah, just send it back in time. It's always
the Crusades.
It's in the Crusades now. There's just some chap in the Crusades about to go to war, and just a big sword man appears beside him. It's like the paperclip in the old Microsoft Word.
Yeah.
just a fucking sword. Do you need a hand here now? Jesus Christ.
So eventually he returned to the Avengers cured and abandoned the ebony blade in favour of a high-tech laser sword.
Laser sword? Fucking hell. Right.
Well, he's a scientist, so he made one.
Yeah, like, he's a scientist, but it's a weird thing that, like, if you're a scientist, I would normally assume that you're very modern.
Yeah.
And then he's also a knight, so he has to, like, combine those two worlds. But then you said he started talking like an old, like, English man, and I don't know if that worked with the scientist mantra.
Yeah, it's kind of... He's in two worlds.
Yeah, fair enough.
So he was now more determined and driven than ever, and he grew into one of the Avengers' most prominent members, even serving as the unofficial field leader.
Really?
Yeah. So he became an actual, like, important character.
That's so weird, because nobody's ever heard of him.
Yeah, literally. And I think more people will hear of him if he's in the movie.
Yeah, but he's in the Eternals, though. That's like the God movie, so... I'm sure you're about to get to it, but how does he get from leader of the Avengers to in the Eternals?
Give me a paragraph.
Okay, here we go.
So this is just a little aside of who, if he gets his own spin-off movie, this is absolutely what it's going to be about.
Okay, go on.
Shaun Dolan, his Irish ward.
Big Carrot Top himself.
Carrot Top himself. He later he could be played by Donald Gleeson.
He could be. I bet he will be.
So he later used the ebony blade and became possessed and turned into a demonic blood wraith. That's his name.
Okay. Oh, good. And so he didn't turn into Sword Boy. He became evil.
He just became evil. He became a little monster.
Fair enough.
Dane defeated him, but he escaped and he became one of his most bitter foes.
Boys.
So he's like a big bad for Black Knight.
Right. Okay.
Now, this next paragraph, this is where we find out about the Inhumans, but there's a bunch of names and each character needs an explanation, but I'm not giving it one.
Oh, boys, right. I'm really glad you made the decision not to give, because what happens is like me with Deadshot and the Suicide Squad. I was just kind of like, if I get into each member, we'll be here all day.
Yeah, so you just listen for the names and I'll tell you their relationship and that's it.
Okay.
So, the Black Knight soon found himself in a love triangle involving himself and two of his teammates.
Oh.
We have the Inhuman, Crystal, and the Eternal, Cersei. Okay, you on board?
Yeah, I'm still with you. I've seen Cersei in Game of Thrones.
Well, look, similar.
Similar.
So Dane was in love with Crystal, the Inhuman, but was strongly attracted to Cersei, who was mentally unstable.
Right, so he wants to have sex with Cersei, but he's like in love with Crystal. I know which option he probably should take, but let's be honest
guess
here.
Which one he takes?
I 100% he takes Cersei.
So Cersei had forced Dane to mentally bond with her.
Oh, that's not. Oh, it's kind of gotten a bit.
It's gotten
more sour.
A bit more sour there now.
Yeah.
So, and about the same time as this, a Black Knight from another dimension tried to kill Cersei. Doesn't matter.
Of course, don't worry about it. And I'm sure Crystal runs like a puppy farm, but like Cersei like mind melded him, so it's fine.
Well, Cersei has gotten together with Quicksilver in the meantime, so Dane, being the knight that he is just like, not a problem.
Yeah. Dude, there's clearly a much better girl. What are you doing?
So, because he's a knight as well, he decides to accompany Cersei in exile to another dimension because of her growing mental instability meant it was too dangerous for her to be on Earth.
Oh, I'd say that was, very knightly. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'll go off with you on a holiday. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, it'd be grand, like, look at that.
Just the two of us.
So that's his kind of connection with the Eternals, is that he's the consort of Cersei, I guess you'd call him. Right,
so he's not actually, like, in any way connected to them other than the fact of Cersei and him have, like, a relationship kind of thing.
Yeah, like, I can see Cersei maybe being part of the plot in the Eternals.
Okay.
Like her mental state being an issue, and then him going off with her at the end.
Because he's clearly not the brightest then.
No, he's a bit of a dim boy.
A bit of a dim boy, led by other areas of his body.
His hands.
His hands, of course. Ebony blade.
So they went on adventures in other dimensions. They went to the Crusades again.
He fucking loves the Crusades.
Oh, they're mad about him.
Mad about it.
So they eventually made it back to modern times in present day Earth, and then they just split up. They decided they weren't for each other anymore.
Yeah, if you go on holiday, you get to know each other really well.
Oh,
if you're on holiday with someone,
come live with me, like.
Exactly. So he's after living with her now. It's all seemed well and good when they were just dating or whatever. But then
when the excitement was there.
Yeah, but now the excitement's a bit died down. They're living together. You just run out of things to say, you know what I mean? And then eventually you just start hating yourselves.
Well, sure, look, that's when you find real love.
I got divorced there last week.
Oh, are you alright? Are you alright?
Bit emotional, but she came to live with me for one day.
Oh,
didn't last.
Says more about you, I think.
I think it did, yeah.
When they returned, the Avengers were temporarily disbanded at the time. So the Black Knight found a new home and new employment at Oracle Incorporated, joining the company's new super team, Heroes for Hire.
Oh, shit.
Now, that's our name too.
That is true. It's almost like we took that name.
Because we thought it would never be important again.
But now you've ran us into an issue here, because now people have found out that there's other people called that.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's just, you have been listening to Hero Zero. We'll be back next week.
Here on the... Oh man. Look, if we ever get sued, then we're big enough to be getting sued, you know?
That's a positive way of looking at it. Because at the minute we're like nothing, so it doesn't matter.
The Black Knight continued to battle evil as a member of Heroes for Hire until Heroes for Hire's disbanding, which will happen to us one day.
Oh no, you're going to live with me for one day.
In one of the team's final missions, they encountered on Mount Wundagore the humanoid animals created by the High Evolutionary.
That's a lot of words. That is a lot of words in a sentence.
Basically, there was a scientist who found a secret to genetics and could do anything he wanted. He's called the High Evolutionary, and he just started turning animals into people.
Oh, sure. He seems like a stand-up guy, in fairness.
He really is.
Yeah.
His daughter was injured, and so he used parts of spiders to fix her, and now she's Spider-Woman Jessica Drew.
Of course, yes. Your daughter is sick, so you use parts of spiders. It's the oldest story. I remember my mother reading that to me in bed.
It go in order of medical discoveries. It's like that, and then way down is penicillin.
Cure to TB, penicillin, and then loads of spiders.
Just a big bag of spiders.
Big bag of spiders.
So the Black Knight decided to stay on Mount Wundagore and lead these creatures as the Knights of Wundagore.
Okay.
So now he just leads a team of animal monster knights. But
That seems like
they're all trained in like the code of chivalry and everything. It's really funny.
But they're animals.
Yeah, but they're smart. They're smarter than the average human.
Only you could prevent forest fires. Can they hold swords?
Yeah, because they're humanoids.
Okay.
They're like standing up.
Oh, sure. Like, then he's fine. He's got a big bear with a sword.
Nothing worse than a bear with a sword.
Absolutely not. You're never defeating a bear with a sword. That's like two things combined. It's game over.
You may as well go home. We talked about
Go
bears
home.
on Weird News Wednesday this week.
Man versus bear.
So on his Marvel 1 to 7 rating system, there's nothing too stand out. He has a durability of 5, energy projection of 4, fighting skills of 5, intelligence of 4, speed of 2, and strength of 2.
Yeah, but like that's pretty strong in terms of like
for a regular man.
He's for a human. He's fairly well rounded.
Yeah, and it's probably what a knight would have been.
Actually, that's
Except for
very
the energy
impressive.
projection.
Yeah, because that's very impressive. Because I always go back to She-Hulk only has 3 intelligence, and she's a liar. And you just said he has 4 intelligence.
And he's an idiot.
And he's a moron. He's been turned into a fucking sword.
I'm not sure how consistent the rating system is.
It seems a little all over the place, but look, we will trust it because you've used it so many times.
It's a staple of this podcast.
Up to 7. What the fuck kind of raid? I'm not getting into it.
So that's my report on Dane Whitman. A bit of trivia, right? George R.R. Martin, who wrote Game of Thrones, he was a very big fan of the Black Knight comics, and there's a character in the Game of Thrones books and the show, but they're called Arthur Dane, and they're like the best knight, the most noble knight, the purest knight. So
okay, so that's like a little callback.
A little callback to Dane Whitman.
Oh, right, and then it's ironic that Kit Harington is going to be playing him in the future movie.
Yeah, so it all cycles round.
Because he is turning into George R.R. Martin, so technically George R.R. Martin is getting his wish.
Yeah, that's how it's going to work.
It's a circle. He's been sent back in time to the Crusades again.
George R.R. Martin was in the Crusades?
Imagine the scenes.
Oh, there'd be Schlapstron.
No, I think that's really good. I think the Black Knight, I knew literally nothing about him before you started, and there's a lot of stuff there there's a lot of things going on, but in his base story, I think it's actually pretty cool how he was the leader of the Avengers, but then he got involved with gods. Like, there's very few characters that have made that connection.
Yeah, and he's not even super powered. Like, he has a bit of magic around him, but not to the level where it's a protection for him.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty cool. I think the one thing I want to say about Kit Harington is you said he's got full face coverage, full bodysuit.
Yeah.
We said the same thing about Mr. Gyllenhaal in Spider-Man.
You
don't hire Kit Harington if you're going to cover that face.
That's very true. Now, would you think they'll do like, the knight helmet with the full face open?
I don't think anyone looks good in that one either, though. I think that like squashes the face.
It squishes your cheeks.
It squishes your cheeks. I think he'll have no mask on until the big battle at the end, and then they'll bring in the stunt double.
Yeah, yeah, and then it's easier to have the mask on at that point.
Just easier to have it on. Yeah, I think that was a very good report, Shaun.
Thank you very much, Conor.
Yeah, and that's actually probably your longest report you've ever done.
I think it is, because there's so much, and I've cut out a load of stuff in this.
So much dog shit. So, yeah, this was Hero Zero. Thank you all very much for listening. We'll be back on Monday, Movie Mondays, Wednesday, Weird News Wednesdays, and next week with Hero Zero. It is my week, so it's probably going to be DC news. If you want to support the show, you can go to Patreon. We do have a Patreon. The link is in the description if you want to give us anything. If not, don't worry about it. You still get the same 3 episodes. We also have a Twitter, at Here's for Hire Pod, the 4 is the number 4, Facebook Here's for Hire Podcast, Instagram Here's for Hire Podcast, and most importantly, just tell one human being we exist, because that really helps the show out. Shaun doesn't normally talk this much shite. Normally I do a lot of shite talking. Shaun is so smart.
I'm a smart boy.
Smart boy. But something's gone wrong today. So, yeah, as I said, we'll be back next week with all the same usual nonsense. I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun.
And we'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.